But most of the time, honestly, I just don't have enough bullets to do anything meaningful. Because I've gotten to the point I'm not going to sit there and take like the 5 or 6 shotgun shells off of each and every zombie with a shotgun. You know, taking the time to do that takes like 20, 30 seconds, if not longer. And in that same amount of time, the, what, maximum of like 20, 24 zombies or so I could kill with that gun, I could probably kill 24 zombies without that. And that's not including, bringing the bullets with you, repairing the gun, doing all that's like, it's just more efficient for me to just stab zombies in the face. That's the last spear? Good. Like, and especially, he's like, well, yeah, but guns. Shock Trooper says, do you consider the helicopter pilot a malicious person? Or do you think they're trying to assist you by assist you in eliminating? I mean, my assumption is they're doing what they believe is the correct thing for the world at large. That there's this government conspiracy, there's this infection, there's all that going on. The government's giving like incomplete information that there's this Nox event that they're not talking about. And so this person is going, hey, something serious is going down here, and we need to let the world know because, it's not okay. So they believe they're doing the right thing, and I would argue in the pilot's position they probably are doing the right thing. But it's a right thing without that has consequences. And in their research of what's happening, they are endangering those inside. Maybe they don't realize they're doing it until like things escalate. Now, in our world, where the helicopter pilot keeps coming back again and again, and clearly society has fallen, this helicopter pilot's a jerk. Red Knight, that's what I thought. Yeah, now I get the, well, but guns, and I get it. That's fair. Guns are fun. Not gonna argue against it. But the chore of taking all of the time to get those guns. Like the bullets, not the guns. The guns is the easy part. Like, I never have a shortage of guns. Bullets, on the other hand, they can be a huge pain. And we'll almost certainly use guns again at, like, next time we reach a town that has, like, a gun store and they actually bother to loot. I mean, actually I say that, but we didn't even, like, loot the police department in Riverside. Like, it still has bullets in it, I'm sure. I mean, our primary goal is kill zombie. Not shooty shooty bang bang. Yeah, no, it goes to saying you might also have to consider the slim possibility of the lone survivor surviving in the first place, so... Like, while the helicopter pilot is certainly making it way more dangerous for a person, it's like in those situations where you've got an avalanche and there's someone trapped in it, and you've got a helicopter that just cannot land. You know, the snow's still moving around, so it's like, well, you can't really help that person. You know, and the noise you're making might actually make it worse. But at the same time, identifying where that person's trapped might save that person's life, or might save the lives of others, that kind of thing. There's that side too, also. Because that is one of the difficulties, like watching certain natural disasters. It's like realizing, oh, that person, that person's screwed. Let's see. Lone survivors against the infection spreading. Will 69,000 be dead though? I mean, at some point, and about 12,000. Gosa says, I had 7 shotguns before I found a box of ammo. Yeah, that happens. That's the thing. It's like collecting 5 or 6 bullets out of every third shotgun. It's like, no. Dr. Will says, I traveled to the West Point gun store from Rosewood today and ran over about 90 zombies with the gun store loot was golden. Yes. I wish I had space in my car for the gun store loot. When I left West Point, I might have made a trip back to it. Dr. Bell saying, got lucky with a box truck and a trailer. We stopped using our box trucks. They almost got us killed more than once. And I was like, you know what? Nope. I don't need the extra cargo space. Let's get rid of the giant vehicle I can't see behind. I don't want to have to like always park pointing upside, up and down, or all the other ways to deal with not being able to see the zombies behind your vehicle. Like even the outline, it's like, okay, that's great if I remember to every single time approach my vehicle as if there's a zombie behind it, which is probably the correct answer actually, but I still don't want to do it. I believe I have mentioned that I'm lazy and that I'm stubborn. What time is it? Okay. My lunch is going to be my dinner as well at Loop Beer because I have not eaten enough of it yet. I mean, I know my wife still has like half of the rice from her lunch still. Still have plenty of stuff to snack on too. Check see how she feels about leftovers. Oh, and she also has she has pasta from yesterday. Yeah, we got leftovers. We're good. Azine says, I made taco soup tonight. I don't do homemade meals often, and I was so happy with how I was so happy it was edible. Yeah. Dr. Bo saying, my tip for newbies driving, make sure you break both windows when driving through hordes so you have the exact, you can see exactly where the, what? You can see through windows. I'm assuming that's a joke. Yeah, I was like, I'm assuming that's a joke, because, like, wait, that doesn't make sense at all. That's just how you die. Them zombies get grabby when they go through those windows. Yep, the zombies really love the bitey hugs. Alright, finally out of spears again. Excellent. Just the way I like it. No spears. What I don't like is this like one ball of zombies that keeps ducking behind these trees again and again. Because that's been really annoying. It's like I wanted to get them pulled in to fight them and then duck behind the trees like, well, I'm not going in there with you. Okay. Meet me on the field of combat. Zombies die a warrior's death, says Hogoso. Dr. Bubble saying, completely unrelated topic. I found a mod yesterday that allows zombie blood all over yourself to blend in with the hordes. Yeah, I've heard that one, that they do like the Walking Dead thing where you can kind of, mix in with the zombies where you're covered with zombie funk. I always thought of that idea, like, and I don't know if The Walking Dead ever went into this because I honestly haven't watched hardly any of it. Like, okay, so it's a disease of some kind, and you like completely coat your body with, effectively diseased material. All it would take is like the tiniest little nick, and now you've got zombie blood in your blood. Why did they only do that once in The Walking Dead anyways? I mean, maybe for the reason I just mentioned. Maybe out of, like, fear of getting the illness about, getting zombie blood in your eye or into an open cut or something. Well, Fear the Walking Dead did it, or had it multiple times, and without even explaining how the dude found out. Don't know. Like I said, never really kept up. Like, for me, there's been zombie movies I've certainly enjoyed. Like, I liked more of the ones that are trying to just be funny, like Zombieland and, Shaun of the Dead, those ones. Like, I don't have problems with zombie movies. I've just never been a big horror movie person in general. But when it comes to games with zombies, absolutely on board. I'll read the comment in a moment. I was gonna say, I'll read the comments. Like, this is probably not the time to read the comments. This is probably time to stabby zombie in the face. Alright, we got push-ups redeemed. I'll catch up with chat. They can get those push-ups as soon as this group of zombies is dead. Okay, let's see. In The Walking Dead, they're all already infected anyways. Yeah, I remember that like anyone dies, doesn't matter how they come back. Pat the Mime says, from what I know, the blood isn't that bad, because multiple times people got hurt, got covered weapons, and they would only get sick, not zombified. Interesting. Rockford says, Broxy, true, but getting bit or scratch or something like that seemed to speed up the process. Hey, Pekraru, how's it going? IO push-ups, let me get those here in a minute. And then Brock said, by Peter Jackson, I think. Pankraru said, you need you need sounds for your redeems and maybe a cute pop-up picture. I have no idea how I set that up, but I don't want anything like too distracting, because a lot of people try to like mellow out and all that to the stream, like if they're dealing with anxiety. So, kind of chill, all that kind of stuff. So I don't want a bunch of like flashy sounds and that. Like, I've actually very deliberately tried to go different from that, because I know there's a lot of streams that, you do a point redemption and like fireworks go off, or you donate bits and like the little meme video pops up. And those are cool. Like, that's fine. Like, those are perfectly fine. That is catering towards an audience. And I'm just trying to very specifically cater towards the audience who want the opposite of that. Yeah, soothing sounds, whatever. And then so I could pay like a whole bunch of money for a bunch of like quacking, like pawing seagulls or something. Funny zombie movie? Yeah, I don't know that one. I can't see people redeeming stuff. Oh, interesting. I see on mine where it says, Pankraru redeemed. Did it not show up in chat? Should have. Yeah, it showed up in chat, probably half a screen up for me from where you saw it, but that's on the OBS. Um, that's okay, Pankraru. Like, I have to make sure whatever soothing sounds I grab and all that, that they're copyright friendly and all that. Yep. All right, so give me a moment. I gotta do those push-ups and I'll be right back. All right. Okay, we gotta hydrate. I need to update our label. So we have officially hit 2,900 push-ups. I mean, our push-ups are falling way behind on our zombie kills. They used to be ahead once upon a time. I'm going to have to check a lot of this stuff. What? I'll have to check what this is. My wife clearly, whatever she did, she barely, like, ordered my birthday gift and everything or whatever. But, I have, like, all these emails about celebrating my birthday and all. I'm like, well, I don't know what any of this crap is. I'll have to check that out later. Which, for the record, there's still like over a week and a half to my birthday and all that. It's not super soon. We'll change the age of older than I am now. To the age of too many. Let's see, Pankru says, yeah, I can show you the program I use for sounds, video, pop-ups, pictures, etc. It's super easy. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, that'd be a good one to drop in the stream feedback channel. Like, if you just kind of, like, put the information there, I could see certainly doing something. It would just, I'd want to be super tame about it. Like, that's kind of the thing, like, part of me is like, I kind of want to play Elden Rings more, but, like, for what my stream is and everything, Elden Rings is about the only thing I could get farther from my stream than Elden Rings is if I was doing, like, a competitive first-person shooter or competitive MOBAs or something. Is about the only thing that it could be, like, a worse fit than, like, Elden Ring. And I very much have been enjoying the Elden Ring. I don't honestly like the open world element. I have said I wish it was, like, linear paths like Dark Souls, where, you go into an area and there's, like, 4 or 5 different paths you could take, but otherwise it was, like, linear. And so you could just take a different kind of order through the map. Versus the open world, I'm like, okay, it's just open. As far as my age, how old am I? I have to actually think about that. That answers one question for you. I'll leave it at I'm not 40 yet, but I'm not far from. I'm not giving the exact number, but we're getting close. Oh yeah. Zidian, I feel that pause. I'll be 39 in a month. Yeah. I'll say like I'm gonna be, if my math is I have to sit down and think about it. I should be 38. That's right. Yes. That is a sign of your age when it's like, oh right, what's my age again? What year is it right now? Okay, let me do the math in my head real fast. Like, there is absolutely a point that when it comes to age, you just stop paying attention to it at all, and then when someone asks you, you're like, how old am I? It's like, I know it's between this number and this number. Well, hang on. I imagine you probably start paying attention again, like, I don't know, like if the retirement age is 67, I have no idea off the top of my head, because I just expect it to be different when I get there, so I just don't pay attention. But like, saying it's 67, I imagine when you get to like 63 or so, you start really paying attention, like, no, I'm 3 years till I can start collecting my retirement. I'll go, so once I hit my 30, my knees hurt too much to care about how old I was. So, surprisingly, I'm actually doing much better now. I've mentioned it once or twice in stream. It's been a very long time ago. But, I did absolutely have problems with my ankle. That basically I'd been a passenger in a car, and we were going down the highway going like 60, whatever the speed limit was, we were somewhere around there. We had someone who just blew a stop sign to get on the highway and T-boned us. So my ankle got all messed up from that. And I 100% understand the concept of being able to tell weather from your joints. But it's gotten better over the years. Like, it took forever to feel good. Like, once in a while, if I really push it, sometimes it's like, oh, there's the ankle. It's getting feisty and upset about it. Hey, Poity, how's it going? I hear you there. But lately, honestly, I haven't been having nearly as many, like, aches and pains and that kind of stuff for that sort of thing. I don't have some secret, like, you know, hey, I'm drinking bone broth now. Or, you know, a big fitness regimen or anything like that. Because, for one, I don't drink that. I think it's eating healthier has probably been it. That's the only thing I can think of is my wife with the meal planning. We've just been eating quite a bit healthier. Not super healthy. Like, I mean, we did have takeout Chinese yesterday, and I do absolutely go to a local Tex-Mex place pretty frequently. Probably more than I should. You know, for as like inoften as you see the fireman axes normally, I am seeing a lot of fireman axes. It's that time again. Time for like the random the zombies pour in from all sides. This has to be the like, I think the migration, just because of how high population is just being overzealous that it really wants to repopulate this street. So it's just, we get this area clear, and then zombies pour in from all sides. And I think it's just like clockwork, that every time we trigger that, like, 12-hour migration or whatever it is, that the zombies just pour in from all directions, like, oh, gotta repopulate Main Road. Main Street's supposed to have it. I had a major surgery to fix old problems. Yeah, I had that with dental. I liked me a lot of Mountain Dew as a kid. I mean, I still do. But, as a kid, so like, even though I was good about brushing my teeth, it's basically acid bathing my teeth all day, every day with that stuff. When I say kid, I'm talking teenager. I should actually specify that. My parents wouldn't have allowed me to drink that much soda. I mean, they weren't happy about it when I was a teenager, but, you know, when you got your own money, a lot harder to tell your kid no. Because, I don't know about nowadays, but in my day, we had soda machines in the schools. It wasn't a dumb idea that shouldn't have been a thing. Yeah, so I basically was just acid bathing my teeth. So even though like it was good dental hygiene stuff, I had some problems. And not like really serious problems, but I had weakened my teeth, you know, which would ultimately lead to serious problems. But I did end up getting a crown And the dentist I had been going to, who was excellent, retired and, gave the practice to someone else. Probably sold it. I don't remember. The new dentist was absolutely atrocious. Really botched a crown. Like, really badly did it. And I had to have a lot of work to fix it later. Like, we're talking, I had to have a tooth removed and planted. It was a whole thing. For the record, that whole process, not that bad. So if anyone has to do anything like that, it's not scary. Like, it sounds scary about the idea of people putting screws in your jaw and that kind of thing, but it's really not that bad. Like, getting my wisdom teeth out was like 1,000 times worse than getting the implant. Alright, so the fireman's axe, if we do care to come back for it, is sitting on the corner directly in front of the pizza place. I keep thinking with how many zombies keep showing up, I partly expect when we finally do get, like, proper control of this main street where we stop having these hordes show up, that we're just gonna, like, go to the neighboring neighborhood, there's gonna be almost nothing left, because just all the zombies that were there kind of moved in. Because it kind of felt like how Riverside was. If we remember, like, I fought a ton on that main drag, and then just after a while we went back and just, I mean, I think the entire eastern neighborhoods of the Riverside, we probably knocked those out in 4 or 5 days. Like, so far as actually fighting, not counting the time that we're stuck home waiting for the rain to go by or, crap like that. Like, actually clearing the town is only like 4 or 5 days we were walking around killing zombies. Like, it felt not quite insane pop, but not quite as low as APOC, like maybe a 2 or 3x pop base, how it fell when we rolled through there. So where we had people who had the hypothesis that they believe that certain parts of the map are like hot spots that the zombies are just like trying to be in, which, that's the urban focus thing. That's like, okay, this main drag is considered like the high pop part of town. Let's focus on repopulating it first, and then this is like the low part of town. It gets a little bit less. It absolutely would support that theory. Just, again, anecdotal, very limited sample size, so grain of salt, all that. But initial findings do seem to support the hypothesis that the zombies are naturally trying to, with their urban distribution, repopulate the areas that are supposed to be high pop. Which, if that is the case, that would be excellent, because that means the strategy of circling around, going back to places we've cleared again, could give us pretty good results. Which, for the record, I am way beyond overdue doing, because I think the last time we did a loop was something like end of February, end of March in game. And we're in July? Yeah, I'm a little worried that we're going to go up to Riverside. Like, the areas around I expect to kill... Like, I expect it to be a 2 or 3 day excursion. Maybe what we'll do is the next time we have to go back for food or whatever, we'll make that the priority. But I do expect it to be a 2 or 3 day excursion that, like, I have to go to the country club, spend a day on the country club, clearing out whatever showed up since it's been so long, go to the factory warehouse area, spend a day there. Riverside might even be 2 days. We'll see. I'm still salty that I can't repair sirens without a mod. I have debated a number of times adding the mod that lets you repair sirens, or one of them, to this save. Just because I'm like, look, this needs to be part of this game. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna have to take a moment to read that. Give me a moment. With sirens, no. Like, I could certainly take one of the cars that's absolutely trashed and just get it functional enough to drive around for that purpose. But, Zane goes, what's better? Longhorn press or many smaller ones? I don't know, I do both. Like, people who have actually seen me use the horn, it's like not a strategic thing. I don't know why I do it this way. But like, I'll hold the horn for like a solid second or two, then they'll tap it like 3 or 4 times, and I'll hold the horn for a second or two, then I'll tap it 2 or 3 times, that kind of thing. Like, that's been my approach. Like, I've not taken the time. They do know it's a mechanic that, like, if a noise is in range of the zombies, it doesn't mean they universally always hear it. Like, there'll be times they will and won't hear it kind of thing. Like, that's the reasons why when I go up to the houses and I shove on the door, I don't just shove one time, I shove several times. Just to kind of increase the odds that all the zombies inside hear it. Yeah, I'd much rather have the sirens for the only reason of I don't have to hold the button or push the button or anything. Like, I'm looking to just constantly make noise. Just let me make noise. Like, that's the whole reason I went after a vehicle with sirens. So to have it where it's like, oh, I broke. And like, considering all the other things you're fixing, it's like, look, man, it's a speaker and some light bulbs. If you really want to get technical, it's also got a motor to it. A couple little motors to spin it. Of the things you're fixing, pretty minor. How are we doing on food? We haven't touched our veggies, but our veggies really are just a pile of potatoes. Yeah, for the thing where we talked about pushing, maybe it's from them being too close. Like, that zombie I just showed over was from being too close, and it doesn't lock us in place. And that's because we're moving back. Like, and even when we're not moving back, I haven't seen it always do the lock in place push. That's the thing. Like, it only seems to happen when we're not moving. That's one. But it doesn't always happen when we're not moving. So I don't really know. And that could be just me not remembering right. Like, that could be me trying to go on memory. They do deliberately try and always back up while attacking, just because, again, there's so many dangerous animations that moving will prevent. And also, by moving backwards, if a zombie were to go for the grab and I were to just, like, whiff the swing or whatever, if I'm already moving backwards, there's a good chance I'll sneak out of range before the hit lands. That's not a knife thing, that's just any weapon you use in the game. if you're stepping away from the zombie as you're swinging, you're more likely to be able to sneak out of range before it lands its hit. Okay. Rockbird says, imagine trying to walk through piles of corpses while being chased by zombies. I feel like you trip. Yeah, that's actually one of the ones, and it's come up in this channel, and I've seen it come up in Royal with Cheese's channel as well. That people are like, yeah, you know, you should have a risk of tripping over zombies. And I agree with Cheese that no. Randomly dying to RNG because you trip on a zombie corpse would be a real feels bad death. Because, like, with these zombie pops, there'd be no way to manage the corpse. So you'd effectively say, okay, you're not allowed to play high pop. Just forget about it. You're not allowed to play high pop anymore. It's not allowed. Because just the tripping hazard would be just too high. Like, even if it was, like, a 0.1% chance or something. Like, it'd be just absolutely too high. Okay, I could buy in on that. If you're like running or sprinting over zombie corpses, you have a very small chance of tripping, and it would be slightly higher if you're clumsy. I could get behind that. But people are just like, oh, in general, I'll be like, no. Like, the comment I made was, dying to RNG is not good game design, in my opinion, where it's just a thing happens because of RNG and it makes you dead. Like, I don't like the games where just, you know, you have, like, and I should specify this. The gun jams in this game, in my opinion, are fine because melee is kind of the way you do everything for the most part. There's not enough ammo to use guns constantly. So it's not that big a deal. And plus, since you're fast in zombies, you can get away from the the enemy versus like a lot of other games that have gun jams. You see like the panther running at you, and then your gun jams are like, well, I guess I accept death then. Yeah, Choctor was saying even if it were only a chance on moving backwards, it would be terrible. Right. It would basically mean you would kill the zombies, and you'd have to wait until the bodies decay before you kill any more zombies in that area. Like, you'd have to choose a different path again and again. We're nauseous, right? Yep, we are nauseous, so we are taking damage penalty. I think this will be the last group of zombies here we kill, because that nausea is going to be a problem. Because after nausea, we will take a penalty from Like, if we get to full-on sick, we'll take a penalty there. But the real danger is if we reach fever. Fever can kill you very quickly in this game. Like, fever is you drop everything you are doing and you address your fever now, or you will not be addressing your fever. It's kind of in the same realm of dangers as, like, a neck laceration. You gotta be on top of it, or you just won't make it. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the distance between, like, feeling well and being queasy and nauseous, as you get more and more severe, the distance between getting to the, or, like, the more you have to mess up to get to the more severe level, it gets shorter and shorter. That's true of most of the negative effects, like hydration, all that. You go a long ways before your character is considered even thirsty. But then the distance between thirsty and dehydrated and stuff like that gets smaller and smaller. Let's see if we can avoid that horde. What I'm planning on doing is just going in upstairs, like we have been doing. Chilling in our room real fast. I will probably get drowsy while we're there and just sleep it off. I'm going to check one thing real fast. So while we stand here fast forwarding time for it to be late enough for us to sleep, see if I actually need to respond to any of these things my ah. Okay. They're just trying to discuss what's happening for my birthday. And it's excellent. I like when I don't have to plan it. That's the best. I hate when people are like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" It's like, I don't want to plan it. That's what I don't want to do. I want to be uninvolved in the planning. I don't even care if it's gonna be that fun of a thing. I just want it to happen. Like that's my wish for my birthday, is that it just happens. All right, sleepy time.